All right,
in the hotel in the back of the rental.
We are joined by the unrelieved
JB Championi, Jacques Barrett. Do people call you Jacques Barrett? Jacques Barrett? Jacques?
They call it's all interpretations. I understand what people are trying to do. I've never been, Some people on behalf of me will correct others. I don't give a shit. It's supposed to be Jacques.
Yeah.
But Jacques, Jacques, Jack, all of them.
Jacques. I'm going with Jacques. Jacques.
Forever Jacques.
When I see you on Saturday, I'll be Jacques.
That's French for Jack, right? Or no?
James.
Oh.
It's French for James.
James.
Really?
All right, James. What are you going to be, James? Hello, James.
You can call me James.
All right, sick episode. Good masterclass for people wanting to get into comedy and hearing what it's like.
I hope you guys laugh. I hope you guys learn.
Live, laugh, learn.
Awesome. What did we did chat about comedy, bit of golf at the end.
Just really good. It ended up being a bit of a mini masterclass on comedy. Yeah,
very good.
All podcasts I tend to be on, if they're ever about comedy, it's just nothing but fucking comedy.
Nice.
And I look back at the podcast and I'm like, I'm a real boy. I've got real stories. And I'm like, no, I don't think I do.
it's good because you always get self-conscious about talking about comedy with comedians, especially when you've been doing it forever. But it's fucking good to chat about,
especially when you're a straight white male.
Yeah.
Classic.
No transgender issues.
Oh,
this one, no PC.
No, nothing.
Fucking
no Biden,
no trigger warnings.
No trigger warnings.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What about that suicide stuff?
Okay.
Trigger warning.
Suicide.
But we didn't. We weren't right-wing conspiracy theorists this week. Yeah,
so shout out to all the spazzes that comment on our Instagram reels. But thanks to the Patreons as well.
And big shout out to Raunchy. This episode is brought to you by Raunchy Brewing Co.
Thanks, Ian. He lent us his hand and his van to go abduct some kids. No, to move stuff from our old studio to a new studio. So not only coming in with the goods with the beers, but coming in with the goods with the vans.
It is the beer that actually tastes good. So you can get it at Thirsty Camels, but they're just trying to take the orders through online now.
Yep.
Because they make more money.
We got a link in our Insta?
No, but I'll put a link in our bio.
No new Patreons this week, but thanks to all the regulars. And there will be a new episode up this week. Branch here.
Yes, and there'll also be, we keep saying the new announcement for the sponsor, but the sign comes tomorrow.
Sweet.
So, well done.
Well done, guys.
Thanks.
All
Let's
right.
get hard.
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast. I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host,
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Branch.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
Because Sydney has obviously fucking 8 teams all in the area.
Yeah, because I actually felt when I was in Brizzy, a lot more people knew about Aussie rules than I thought. I was like, that hell surprised me. But fucking, I don't. Yeah.
Where in Sydney? Did you say?
In Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Because where are you originally from?
Brisbane.
Brizzy. Oh right,
Yeah.
cool. Because I always thought you were originally Sydney for some reason.
That's where I started.
Yeah. Started stand up.
Started the lols. So that's my state of origin.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. So do you follow New South Wales or do you follow?
Fucking Queensland.
Queenslander.
Fucking Bledmorane.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
So you'd have been loving it recently then? With the state of origin.
Yeah, I did. I liked it, especially the second win.
Yeah.
It was a big win, but that's exactly the team on paper for New South Wales. Not sure if you guys are following, but it just was really lackluster. Brad Fittler, who's the head coach, and he just made some interesting decisions. We all felt, you know.
Yeah,
we were Queenslanders.
Queenslanders were like, we were worried. Yeah. We want this to be he was picking people that we wanted him to pick, which is bad.
That's never a good sign.
I'm going to just double check my thing, but keep.
What's your thing?
It's just peaking a little bit when I laugh loud.
Yeah. Well, this is I didn't tell you. I think ages ago. You were my first celebrity.
Are we recording?
Yeah. You were my first celebrity that I was starstruck by when I gigged. It was.
Oh my god, Toadfish Rebecca! I've been watching you on
Not Toadfish. But I think it was my first ever open mic.
Was it Raw Comedy at the Charles Hotel?
It was Raw Comedy at the Charles. Yeah, this is like I'd done one gig and then I did my first spot and then I did one more and then I didn't gig for fucking forever and then I came back to it. But yeah, because you do Jacques Lecoq in Zoomag.
Oh yeah, that's
Was that
right.
you?
Yeah.
Because I pissed it, man, reading all the stories and the questions and the whatever your responses were, and then it had your photo. I'm like, this is Jacques Lecoq.
Yeah, I had a column in Branchy. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but
Yes.
I had a column in Zoom magazine, and that if there's anything that keeps me up at night is if someone finds old copies of them. It's cancellation, baby. It is all over. They're taking down statues.
Well, I think I've got a few stored somewhere.
I kept the very last issue of Zoomag. I was like, this could be worth something one day.
I used to.
I think I ditched it when I moved house. I'm like, what am I?
I used to cut out my favourite girls and
just of the magazine.
yeah, and put it on my toolbox. So my toolbox.
Oh man.
You open it up,
That's
bang.
such toxic masculinity.
I know, yeah.
How dare you?
But it was the thing to do,
Yeah.
Delby. It was the thing to
Proper
do.
alpha energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Some of the
Crystal
girls-
or something? Who was the girl from Big Brother?
Yeah, I think Crystal.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, timeless.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't care.
There was so
She
many
was
honeys.
hot.
And there were so many honeys on Zoo. I didn't realize until I got a bit older, a lot of them were just like skimpies and strippers.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know
You were
that.
young. It was a more innocent
I
time.
thought I was just like, I was like, oh, these models are amazing. But then I started, as I got older, I started to
Yeah.
get to know a few girls in the industry and I'm like, oh, they're always in Zoom, man.
Yeah.
And then I went to a go-kart tournament and these chicks were on the grid in skimpies. I was
Yeah.
You're better than this.
Yeah. While we're on sort of recent stuff, comedy last night, you fucking absolutely nailed it with the MC at the ECC. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Really?
What did you think last
What
night?
is my job? It was good.
What did you think? Because we did that like pre with the penguin jokes and the banana jokes.
Yeah.
Mine bombed,
Yeah.
but yours went pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to keep some of it.
So is this
myself.
the joke challenge?
Yeah.
So what were the topics for the joke challenge?
Penguins
Yep.
and bananas.
And bananas.
So you don't have to do them
Fuck,
together.
that's broad.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, the kings do.
Yeah. Well, John Pinot did penguins walk like they've got a banana in their ass. I was like,
Ah, clever.
that's pretty
Easy.
funny.
Free cash.
It's the first time I've ever done like what would you call it? Acting.
Comedy.
Yeah. An
act out.
Act out, and I did
How'd
not.
you go?
Nah, not very good.
My favorite,
Not good.
My favorite is when I knew you were nervous because I saw the footage you put up on your Instagram of the set, the start of the set. I knew you were nervous because you walk up, you got a glass of water, so you do a 5-minute spot. You're concerned about getting pasty, but you put it down on the ground in front of you, and then just to the right, 2 meters to the right, is a flat top stool ready for fucking action. And you're like, I'm like, he's out of sorts.
Yeah, that's a good point. But nah, yeah, I just did 3.5 of normal, and then I chucked that in towards the end, and the one little punch at the end went okay, but that was the one Delby gave me. So.
It just would have been such a harsh like left turn from your usual stuff. You know, drop a penguin joke after 3.5 minutes of women suck.
Of women suck. What's the deal with bananas?
Yeah,
And
100%.
speaking of sluts,
yeah.
penguins, am I right?
That's actually probably a better segue than what I did. And we filmed. So we'll put that on Patreon maybe, or
Whatever you
I don't know.
reckon.
We filmed us trying to do the jokes prior, work them out, and then doing them on stage. So
It's probably already exists, but the idea I want to film is call it the premise, where you workshopping a joke, and then it cuts to you trying it on stage.
Yeah, it's great.
Think about it after, and then 3 months down the track, see how it's progressed.
Yeah,
and what
that's a great
differences.
one. That's actually a great one because I did there's a sort of an idea like that.
Yeah,
It
pretty
was
groundbreaking.
Well, comedians looking for an excuse to roast material. We'd it was with comic Emma Zammit. We would interview a specialist. We'd imaginate a really shit situation. And then we'd speak to a professional who'd be able to talk us through what we need to do if that happened to us. And then we do stand up about it at the end. So we'd listen to the podcast, listen to the professional, and then we'd come up with a bit based on what we heard, and then we'd play the recording of that
Yeah,
at the end
yeah.
of the podcast.
Sick.
That's pretty
What
good.
were some of the situations you decided to put yourselves in?
One was you're lost in the woods.
Yeah.
You get lost, you go hiking and you get lost.
Yeah.
Another
good.
one was you are faced with bankruptcy.
Oh, yeah?
Well, Wolfie's got a whole set on that.
Yeah, it's a 3-minute podcast and a 45-minute set at the end. Yeah, a few other, all kinds of just shitty situations that if they happen to you, like things that they give me anxiety, but
Yeah.
I've had no motivation to go and research them, and I probably should just to
Yeah.
alleviate that. So we did a podcast about that, and then the stand up at the end was a clincher. It was really quite fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything? Like, what did you learn? Because what do you do if you face bankruptcy? Donald Trump, he's a master of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in America, what we learned is bankruptcy is not a dirty word over there.
Yeah.
It's got a fucking stigma out here.
Yeah.
You go bankrupt, everyone's like, ugh, that's a black mark next to your financial
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
But in the States, like you can actually bounce back from a bankruptcy pretty quick. So
Pretty
I think,
quick, yeah.
that's capitalist society in its finest
That's
forms.
why
Means-
they owe trillions of dollars.
yeah, they've been awfully fucking cavalier with their economy.
Yeah.
With the greenback.
Yeah.
But they, with bankruptcy in Australia, it's got a stigma, but it's actually you can come back from
Yeah,
it. People
right.
are just so afraid of it, and what it means in America is people are more willing to take a risk because if they hit the wall, they go bankrupt, they get hit insolvency.
Yeah.
There are laws that mean like you can't pay your bills, but in 9 months' time or so, you can have another crack. You can open your new business. Where in Australia, they won't let you go fucking near a business for a while.
Yeah, what
I
is it?
feel like-
4 or 5 years.
I
from
feel like
memory,
that's
I think.
kind of fair.
I think it's fair. I
Yeah.
think somewhere
Yeah.
between 9 minutes after you're bankrupt and 5 years
Yeah.
is the perfect amount of time to bounce back.
100%.
But if you went bankrupt, honestly, you've learned a lot.
Yeah.
About,
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no teacher faster than failure, and there is no failure bigger than bankruptcy.
Yeah.
What was it actually? Liam Ellis. He had his bankruptcy. He served that while he was in prison.
Oh, yeah.
Is what he was saying. So
think
he
so.
literally
I
went
know,
bankrupt, and then that term of, I think it's 2 years or whatever it was. I can't remember. We'll have to go back and listen. But yeah, it was like over that term. Once he got out, it was cleared, and he's fine to get
That's the
loans.
best way
and
to do it.
That's the
Like,
back out of
the only
prison.
way to do it.
because then you basically free rent. You've got a job. Like, it's the ultimate way to go.
It's the ultimate, yeah.
But if you know that you can be bankrupt and just take everyone's money, never have to pay them back, and then like essentially a pregnancy later, you can start a new business.
Yeah,
Essentially a
dude, that's
pregnancy like-
America. That's
Yeah.
it's the proper Wild West, eh?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
And it is,
Because that's what Trump used to do, eh? That's sort of what he ran on, hey? Like, I know that they're flawed because
No, his was
I-
the tax laws, like with
Yeah.
that, so he didn't have to pay tax.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Neo in the Matrix, the way he'd fucking dodge.
Yeah. I know, what is it? I know the system's rigged because I use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's smart. He goes, I don't like how they've used my taxes.
Yeah.
Why would I give them? I don't like how they're using it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's- I wish that we
Neither
could
do I.
dominate. Yeah.
So I'm going to put my foot down. I'm not going to pay tax allegedly for the next 5 years and
Yeah,
then,
right.
Give it a
and then
crack.
go bankrupt.
Yeah,
And then
end
no
up in
tax
jail.
bill.
Yeah, I wish we could just nominate how we pay where our tax goes. Like you can tick hospitals, police, nurses,
Yeah,
roads,
but then like, so,
anything woke.
Dude,
I'll be like,
there'd be so many go-kart tracks.
fuck yeah,
Daniel Ricciardo's building one actually out out Chittering.
yeah,
Fuck
right.
yeah.
He's bought a. I was doing some filming out there for a construction company, and they're building his new property, and then he's building a go-kart that is attached to his property where he's going to
Dude.
do go-kart racing and stuff.
Dude,
Some people have
Harder.
so much good money.
that's
He just- actually, he
that's
ju-
a good use of clean cash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've been go-karting recently?
No.
We should.
yeah,
Yeah,
sick.
well,
Oh, dude.
Where next
It's
next year when
so much fun.
David Reynolds comes over for the NASCAR for the supercars, he wants to do a V8 a race,
Yeah.
or he said he'd do a race. So that'd be kind of fun. So we should try and sort it out.
Yeah.
Big
Have you
one.
been to one in
Brenny
Barbagallo
Blake wants
here?
to as well.
No, I've not go-karted in the West Coast. There's a couple
Yeah.
there's a couple allegations out about me in Perth that means I can't. So, but I'm keen. They're up in about.
What do you mean allegations?
Well,
I mean, you
I
can't
opened my own
go-kart.
go-kart track and it hit bankruptcy. So I've got we're just close to the 5-year mark where I can go go-karting in the West Coast again.
Someone should open up a Mario Kart go-kart where you can actually just throw shells at each other.
Yeah.
Put bananas
Full on,
on.
like a waiver thicker than the shells you throw. If you die, that's fine. But
Fuck, that'd be fun.
And
Even if
you
it's,
could do conservation with turtles at the
I
same
think
time.
I've seen that not as an actual business, but like
in Japan, I was in Tokyo earlier
Yeah.
this year, and in the main strip, Shinjuku, I think it is, there's a pack of go-karts led by a guy on a motorbike. You ride through you ride through the city as a pack, and you get dressed up. They have outfits, costumes, and I've never looked at like a most gimmicky things and novelty things I cringe at. I'm like, this is who would like this? And I was sitting there, mouth open, hard on the street. Yeah.
Sick.
It was unbelievable. And they were cooking. They weren't slouching. They were going full speed.
Sick.
I love that.
Oh, it's very cool.
That's awesome.
Japan, is there anything they can't
No,
do?
dude, my brother went to Mario World there, and he said it was awesome. Like they can jump up, hit the blocks.
Really?
They are like it was like
It comes out with a mushroom. Magic
he's
mushroom.
fucking nice.
Yeah.
Now that's real.
But that would. I think I saw guys do real life Mario Kart. They did something up.
Like as a skit or like a competition.
They put balloons on each other or something. Yeah,
And they had to pop it and shit.
we should definitely do that.
Fucking oath.
Yeah.
That'd be
the,
good.
The super fast carts out at Barbagallo, they fucking
Cool.
They
Top speed, like 40, 45 Ks.
Yeah, they're so quick, man.
Speaking of Daniel Ricciardo, he just got back on the grid last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. AlphaTauri? Is that the Red Bull?
That's a Red Bull backup.
Yeah.
But I thought he's backup driver
he is for
just-
Red Bull.
waiting for Checo
Yeah,
Perez to
yeah,
get
I think
herpes
he's
so he can slide in.
Well, bro, he hasn't made Q3 for like 4 races yet recently. So, considering they've got the fastest car and he can't even get in the top 10 for qualifying,
Really?
there's some issues in the last 4 races.
Oh, who's this? Checo.
Checo.
Okay.
But so De Vries has been sacked. So they've given the seat to Ricciardo for the remainder of the season.
Like, that's an intense job. There's only 20 people in the world that can do it.
And this is his first season.
Who, the
Is
kid
what
that
De
got
Vries,
sacked?
yeah, 10
De Vries,
races.
yeah,
They were
in
like,
and
nah,
out.
no
Yeah.
good, man.
Yeah.
So he's Formula 2. Like, he won the Formula 2, I think, the year before. So he's good. But he just didn't cut it at the Formula 1 level.
I wonder what sort of degradation of your hand-eye coordination that happens the older you get.
Well,
It's definite.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a real thing.
It's not hand-eye coordination, it's reaction time.
Reaction
Yeah.
time, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know it happens to boxers, but they're also getting punched in the head a fuckload.
There's
but
that.
Yeah, they are. So like, and that's why Fernando Alonso, who's I think 42 or something,
42.
and he's arguably still one of the best.
He's
on the,
cooking.
Yeah,
He's
right.
getting better and better.
yeah, so good. And he's just jumped into the Aston Martins, and they were a very good car at the start of the season, and some of the cars have caught up. McLaren's just done some upgrades, and they're actually gone from like almost the worst to they finished 2nd and 4th.
Was that in the British one on the weekend?
Yeah,
Because I saw...
Piastri he got sort of fucked over a little bit. Not fucked over, just unlucky.
Yeah.
With a
He's showing promise, though, in years to come if he sticks with it.
he's going to be very good.
Yeah.
Lando Norris is very good as well. So
Did Norris come second and Verstappen? I flipped over. Like I only
if
like to
Verstappen
watch
won standard, but only by 3 seconds,
Yeah.
which is fucking way better than the
ages,
28
ladies.
seconds that he's been. He won by 4 seconds a few weeks ago, but yeah, he won by 4 seconds a few weeks ago. But that was only because he was so far ahead. He actually was able to stop for a pit stop, an extra one, and change his tyres to try and go for the fastest lap, and he got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
He's running
he
low
was
on,
that
he's
far
running
ahead.
low on points.
Yeah.
He needs that extra for the hot lap.
Was that when he said, "What's the fastest lap time?" And they're like, "You don't need to do it." And he goes, "Tell me the fastest
Yeah,
lap
yeah.
time."
Yeah.
And he just did it anyway.
Where's
Yeah.
the first hole? What's the course
Yeah,
record?
fuck. He's elite, man.
Yeah.
And then old Van Gitsberg, I think is his name. For
Dave Reynolds' opponent.
yes,
Dan Ginsberg.
yeah. He went over, did his first ever race in NASCAR debut 2 weeks ago. Won
Really?
first race.
Proper. Cold trickle days of thunder.
Yeah, it was like
crazy.
fucking
Never driven a NASCAR before.
never.
I've
But-
been watching the highlight reels. I think I know how to do this.
Yeah. So it's
Just
his-
go in a circle.
So-
It's a controlled donut.
Well, this is the thing, and this is why Dave said I messaged Dave, and I was like, "Fuck, man, that's elite." And he was like, "Yeah, street track. They don't do it very often." So he was already in his element. Like we do street tracks over here quite a lot. So, he was.
I thought NASCAR was just circles.
Not all of them. Some of them have different ones.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But yeah,
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I don't really for F1 for me because the winner just gets so far in front. I like to have a punt and watch something.
Yeah.
So there's no value ever. It's like $1.10.
Yeah, but you do the you don't bet on the winner.
You just don't bet.
You do
Gamble
they have
responsibly.
like little multis, and it'll be like Verstappen to win, Leclerc to be on podium, and Lewis Hamilton to be in points, and it'll be like $5. You'll be like, okay,
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. And that one's you look at that and like, unless they crash, that's how it's going to play out. So
I just wait for the shit weather and I back everyone except the top.
yeah,
three.
100%.
Yeah.
But now with McLaren's upgrades, it might be interesting.
It's McLaren's time because Merc had the domination. Now it's Red Bull, and now I'd love to see McLaren get up there for that proper 8 years at the top.
Oh yeah, yeah. The old
really crowding the plate, like developing an allergy to champagne.
yeah. But no, it's that'll be good because I think his first race is either Hungary, Budapest, or Vegas. Either way,
Ricardo?
fuck, yeah. Vegas, man, that's going to be
baby.
Is that the first time?
yes
In Vegas?
on the
is-
strip.
Yeah, wow.
That is
That's insane.
such a good idea.
Yeah, isn't
to have a
it?
fucking race around the strip in Vegas.
Yes,
Oh, baby.
How did,
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
mate, it's going to be insane. And there's
so
that
how do
new,
they protect the infrastructure? Do they have to build massive-
fencing,
right.
fencing up and around.
Really cool would be no
Actually-
offense.
No offense.
yeah,
fencing.
just tourists.
Yeah.
Bro, have you tried
We're using fat Americans to pad out to protect our precious buildings.
Just 88 Michelin men.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the new building they've got there in Vegas?
Yeah, the Sphere. How
Yeah.
much what's the value of that? 2
Oh,
billion.
I saw it pop
something
up
like that?
today. Yeah, 2 point.
So just a big
Three?
mirror. It's just a big screen,
Yeah.
basically, eh?
Yeah.
And it's a stadium as well.
As a
Is that
Sphere.
right? It's fucking.
Is it a stadium as well? So
I
inside?
think inside is the stadium,
Very
and
cool.
it's a sporting stadium.
I
from
think
memory.
it's just a UFO.
yeah, just an
Oh, yeah,
excuse.
Vegas. $3.6 billion.
Australian.
Wow.
To build. Jesus,
Yeah,
and they-
MSG Stadium is the coolest building in the US. It's like the MCG, but one better.
Yeah.
$3.6 billion to build. Fuck.
Fuck, and,
MSG
there's a few homeless
Sphere.
people
Yeah.
floating around.
Yeah.
God, they couldn't give a fuck. Eh?
Oh, bro, that's
They couldn't
fucked.
give a fuck.
They're putting a lot of money into some weird things there, but
Yeah.
But
Let's talk to our guests a little bit.
yes, yeah, because
We've got the Zoo Man.
Do we start recording? Have we started?
Yeah.
we just
I wasted all my gold on a fucking dead air. God damn it. All right. Let's get it together. boys.
Just a bit of comedy because we do have people listen that give a fuck.
yeah.
You've been in the game for like 20 years.
20 years since day one. May 2003 was the first ever.
Where was
You
your
still
first?
remember? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, baby, it's life changing.
Yeah.
For
Well,
the
yeah.
people in the audience, not for me. It was the Comedy Store in Sydney. I was a bartender there for about 2-3 months. I was pretty keen to start doing comedy.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to do a little bit of research. Plus, I needed an extra job, and I'd started bartending there. So I was watching a lot of the stand-ups.
Who was
on
big
my-
at that time?
It was all the Sydney crushers. There weren't really many touring comics that were
Yeah.
coming through because the Comedy Store had there was just such a bunch of still going from like late 90s, early 2000 like comedy boom, big comedy era fucking headliners like proper crushers. Gary Eck, Akmal Saleh, and Anthony Murr, and a couple of other comics coming from Melbourne and stuff like that, but no real touring comics, no US comics, but just battle hard and pub comics.
Yeah.
And Jesus, they were still to this day, like so good. You see a lot of it's different now. Like nowadays, we comics write new hours and new material, but these guys had a 45-minute set that was so fucking dialed.
Yeah.
So dialed in. And it was just a marvel to watch because it had gotten to a point where it had fermented to a point where you could just watch it over and over and never get bored.
Yeah.
So then, I just did open mic. Did pretty good
Yeah.
the first time. And then did it again 2 weeks later. Fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
Like one of the top 10 all-time fucking crushes of my life.
Really?
Annihilated.
Fuck, in your second gig.
Second gig.
Is that because it was your second gig you felt and feel like it was, but in reality now you crush way harder?
Maybe. It depends. Like looking back, I remember how it felt. I guess that's what I'm going on.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm measuring pure pure intense dopamine hit.
Yeah.
It's up top 10.
Yeah.
Top 10, baby.
Yeah.
And then the third, I did the same set as I did the second night, third time, and just fucking ate shit.
Yeah, right.
So hard. They're all at the Comedy Store open mic night.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh, baby, I fucking like this.
Yeah.
It really shook me up. I had this, I've got this in the bag sort of thing. I'm going to go places.
Yeah.
And then just got the rug ripped out so hard. It was like, oh, man, I had the utmost, I already had respect for it.
Yeah.
But I had the utmost respect for what it could do and how, how much it could lift. It's full Tucker's daughter, eh?
Yeah.
Lift you up, tear you down.
Yeah. Have you, did you see that happen as well when you were working at the bar where you're like, that was a crush, and then the same person the next time, like, what the fuck? That didn't.
No, I didn't
just
really
experience
notice
that
it because I think more comics got at the Comedy Store. They were pretty consistent.
Yeah, okay.
There's a lot of consistent, rock solid 7 and 8 out of 10 every time, no matter what, because they had those sets dialed in.
Yeah.
But then I sort of noticed that. That's when I started to realize you had to read the room.
Yeah.
You had to understand what had come on before, who'd gotten last before you. I now subconsciously you guys probably do it as well. Well, not you, Branchy, up putting the water onto the forgetting to put the water onto them.
Yeah.
This is a callback that I hopefully you put in.
I will 100% do from now on. Yes.
But no, when you, I can subconsciously walk into a room, have a look around, and get a gauge of all the demographics.
Yeah.
How they're dressed, what their age bracket is, and their vibe, and then go, okay, I think I know what they're going to laugh at more, and I just cater to them. At the end of the day, I'm not one of those comics who's like, I'm going to do what I want to do no matter what. I want to do this set. Fuck them.
Yeah.
I don't front foot it. I listen to I give them what I think to be the best possible show for the people that are in the audience.
Yeah.
And that creates, that's just an air of professionalism that one of the comics at the Comedy Store told me about, which was, his name's Anthony Murr. He's one of the fucking absolute greats, like an idol of mine. He quit comedy like 12 years ago. And
How do you quit?
I don't know. Well, he is.
How do you quit?
Yeah, like,
He's a script writer. He's multi-talented.
So he's still doing
he's still
versions of comedy.
All kinds of different things.
Yeah.
Multi-talented
creative,
guy, but just went, I can't do it. Just he hit a wall like career wise. He didn't jump up, and he's one of the funniest people ever, but didn't ever get famous and deserved to be. Anyway, he said that with comedy, what you want to do, you don't want to be someone who's doing a 10 out of 10 one night and then a 2 out of 10 the next night. You want to find that middle band. You get booked more if you're in this middle band of consistently 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 is fucking great, and that's the advice. And then from there, I've 7 out of 10 is a fucking bomb for me now.
Yeah.
Whereas 7 out of 10 is like, yes, I've done well.
But still, 7 out of 10 is still passable, and no one's going to not book you again for 7 out of 10.
I think that's an accurate description of just me.
And
just 7 out of 10.
That's the same advice I use when dating.
Yeah.
Just
7
you don't want to be
10.
getting 10s and 2s.
Yeah.
You want consistent 7s.
Yeah, that's a good one. The one that's crazy enough to fuck.
If it's a threesome, though, and
Yeah,
there's
you
a
can have a 10 and a 2.
the average is not bad.
Yes. Yeah, that's perfect. That's a 6.5 average, so fuck off.
Oh, look at the
that
mathematician over here.
Yeah. Quick math. Yeah, that's pretty good advice. I have naturally followed that. I like to see what's been said, what they're responding to. Some people call it a sellout, but
Is it?
I
No,
don't
who
know.
calls it a sellout?
well, all the
Jesus.
diehards are like, just fucking be true to yourself. Fuck them. Fuck the audience.
I know, that's pure. Yeah, they're the loudest and also
Bomb the hardest.
least paid.
Well, when I have more than 8 minutes of material, I'll start shifting around.
Shifting. Yeah.
And I'm sort of pretty like locked in. Suck it and fucking take it.
What's your advice on, let's say someone's done a joke on, I don't know, on penguins or bananas. Will you then pick up on that, or do you go, it's already been done, I'm just going to leave it? Or if you know yours is better, do you reference it and go, speaking of bananas and penguins?
I'd read the play. It depends. I'd never want to fucking flex on someone.
Yeah.
Like if they've done a premise and I'm like, mine's better. Watch this.
Yeah.
Hold my kombucha. And I get up there and But it's sometimes if it's in there, it's priming. Like if they've been primed, in that concept is at the frontal lobe already, and I don't need to set up any context. And I can ride the wave a little bit more. If my bit is completely different to what they're saying, fuck yeah, I'll do that. Sometimes some bits are harder to set up because you've got to make sure the audience knows what you're talking about, so you've got to do a bit of exposition. Yeah, if someone's already done it, I will jump on that for sure.
Yeah, right. Sick. I've always found the audience is fucking people are dumb is my general rule. Yeah, like even if you're doing a callback and it's so obvious to you, you'll riff the callback and they're like, "What?"
But would you
got to set up?
Would you prefer to go on after someone who's just crushed or after someone who's just bombed?
Doesn't faze me. Both have their advantages for me personally, because if they've just bombed, you clean up a little bit, but then in comparison, they're gonna love you. But if they're bombed terribly, where they've just sucked the fucking energy shit out of the room. But if they're crushing, I like that as well, because everyone's up and about.
Yeah. I've always felt like following someone who's doing really well makes it easier for me. It's like it's a fucking setup. Oh yeah,
if you're just starting out, you want to follow a crush.
So I've been following Chris Pachulo lately, and so his is fucking real dark as well, and he's been crushed in the last 3 or 4. I think my last 4 of my last 5 sets I've gone on after Chris, so it's been like a setup, and he's been fucking fire. So I feel like I'm cheating a little bit, but then he has to follow me, so like he must be struggling to follow.
Walking out there with a fucking mop and a bucket because you spilt your drink on the fucking stage again.
Cleaning up.
Walk out with a stool.
Classic.
Well, the MC's job is to clean up. So if I'm following someone who's crushed, the MC comes on him after them, and then they do what I consider to be a job. Yeah. In that case, if someone's crushed, sometimes I think the MC should just do a little bit to if it's a fucking massive crush, and I know the next person doesn't have the arsenal to maintain, I'll do a little bit. Yeah. And if the person is bombed, do a little bit more than a little bit. Yeah. I think a complete reset. Sometimes if someone's bombed, I think it's an MC's job to acknowledge the shit that got took on that stage. Yeah. There was the best one I've ever seen was in the UK, the Comedy Store in the UK. There was this guy doing the 10-minute spot, which is in the middle. It's a tested spot. So if you're shown promise, they'll put you on in the middle spot. There's a headliner to begin with, and then there's a headliner at the end. And in the middle bracket, it's this precious 10-minute spot. And this guy, I won't name him because he's a fucking funny dude. Yeah. He got up there and he just ate a bag of, and it's packed. It was a Friday night, and he's fucking great comic. He just missed the tone, and that is a coliseum. I've never, like nothing else at that Comedy Store in London. Yeah. If they like you, it's on. But if they don't, there is this unspoken, everyone looking side-eye at each other.
Who the fuck's this bloke?
Is it on, cunt? Yeah. We're doing it? We're doing it. And they just block you out completely. And he copped it. And he couldn't win them back. And it was pure silence, a patient silence from the audience. And then the MC got a patient silence. People were like English people are a different breed in that like they will thrive chemically from a death on stage as much as they would a crush.
Yeah. Look at this fucking bloke.
Yeah. He's like, well, what about that cunt? And then the MC got back on and he goes, it takes a lot of guts coming out here when you're that shy. Unbelievable. Absolutely leveled the place. And then he brought on the next act.
Nice. Oh, that's great.
The thing is, like,
the comics wouldn't get angry with each other, would they? Like, no. That's funny. Like, if I bombed, I'd want Delby to take the piss out of me. Like, I'd want it to be.
Yeah. Well, you need to be on the audience's team, not the comedian's team, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You do. You're representative, but at the same time, you know whether. Yeah. After that third gig I ever did where I bombed, Chris Wainhouse was the MC. Yeah. And I don't remember this, but he came out and one of my other mates said, making it look easy. Yeah. And they were mad on my behalf. And I was like, I'm not mad. That's exactly, that's what I bombed. That's the facts.
Yeah. I think with something like the gong or like an open mic here, if it's a person's first time, I don't like shit on them, but you still say, give it up. It was their first time. Well, it was their first time ever. It's not easy.
I know you don't like emceeing so much, but you're very good at it. Even last night, and I don't know if you knew you were doing this, because it was a fucking hot room last night. Like, you built it up, worked the room really well. And then in between, just before I was about to go up, it was loud as fuck. It was a hot crowd, but it was loud. Like people
Mouthy,
getting
chirpy,
drinks and
chipper,
fucking moving seats and shit. So I don't know if you did it on purpose. I'm going to give you the benefit of doubt, but Delby's decided to do it like a minute and a half of sort of material in between.
Just to slow them down. Yeah.
Just to slow them down while they were being noisy, and then I could come up to a quieter, except for the fucking old mate shaking her off.
Oh, yeah.
Cocktail.
Fuck bartender.
dude.
Every second act.
Yeah. Who the fuck ordered the blended margarita?
Yeah.
You dog.
Yeah, I know. Every
Yeah.
time.
But you did really well with that. And then even like reading the room last night, I think Tarbo crushed at the end of his set, so you didn't see the point of doing your rap after that. Like, yeah, it was good, man. You're doing well at that. I know you don't like doing it because you'd rather
It's
be
a great skill set, but you're also that freestyle rap, all of that sharpness. It's the synapses firing. You know what to say, you know what to do, and your mind's constantly going, which makes you, a very strong MC. And I'm just so proud of you.
I appreciate that. My celebrity idols was giving me the head thumbs up.
I brought you on a stage for your third, and one day you're going to bring me on stage.
Yeah, so good.
Yes. So that's fucking good, man. The good advice for the comics that are listening. Everyone else getting like an insight.
Yeah.
Whereas when did you essentially realize that you were going to do comedy full time? Because this is where mine was like 2 years ago, but I'm also like backed by doing a marriage celebrancy as well. Mm-hmm. And
you've augmented.
I'm nowhere near fucking.
It's like a transition, though.
It is a
Good.
transition.
We don't say that word.
You're transitioning.
Yeah,
It's not
It is
just
a slow
their
one.
word.
But I'm nowhere near. Like I've done one, like tour to Brisbane, and that's it. Like I haven't done anything nowhere near what Jacques has done. So
Yeah, but my transition was pretty slow, and the reason I could make it, I was bartender and bar manager, doing comedy for 6 years from my first ever spot before I decided to take the leap and go full time. But I was just getting headline spots around Sydney.
yeah,
But I didn't quite have enough, and I opened a couple of comedy rooms.
Yeah.
and they actually were successful against all fucking odds.
Awesome.
And that made enough money to bolster.
Yeah.
Then I was also hosting trivia here and then, just trying to get income.
You're like a carbon copy of me.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm a carbon copy of you.
Yeah.
Time on.
Yes.
Follow your footsteps. The trivia is pretty good.
I love it.
Again, man, it's so fun. And there's a lot of bum trivia hosts out there. All you need to do is show a little bit of zip
Yes.
on the mic, and they
love ya.
Oh, they fucking froth, and they'll come back. And it's
Yeah.
also time on mic. You can't beat it, man. That is a proper 2 hours on microphone.
Yeah. Yes.
And the pressure is off. You don't need to be comedy
Yeah.
to be funny, but if you are, it's a pleasant surprise.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
also, you know the questions. You can start to write some fucking
Jokes on it.
write some
Yeah.
ad libs.
Yeah, that's where I do. Man, that's so strange you say that. Yeah, I started when I first started comedy. I'm like, right, I'm going to run my own shows. I'm going to fucking do my own hustle, make my own money from it. Do my own quiz nights, which I fucking love. But you do the question. You're on the mic. You got your intro, which is like your housekeeping emceeing, just riffing on the room, and then you save the jokes for when they actually listen when they're doing the questions. So when you're doing the answers, before you give the answer, you throw your joke in. Yeah, fuck, that works. I gotta
Yeah.
Captivated audience.
Yeah, they have to listen because they're waiting for the answer.
Yeah, you have to do it when they're waiting for the answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Any
they're
other time they
not
don't.
paying attention.
What was your first? Where were your first rooms? What were they called? Was it Lecoq Comedy or something? Or
No. It was what was the company was called The Wagon. And we did comedy. One at Bar Bondi, that was the most successful one. One at Local Laughs, which was at the local tap house in Darlinghurst, and another one at the Randwick Rugby Club.
are any of them still going to this day?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Scorched
Did they
earth
stop when you
policy.
were going?
If I can't have her, none of you can. Just wait, threw a fucking grenade as we walked out.
Yeah.
No, all those bars no longer. Only one of them still exists. But for that period of time, that was great because I was obviously getting stage time myself, and I was emceeing a lot of my own shows.
Yeah.
That made enough. Of course, that created enough income to sustain. It was fucking lean.
Yeah.
For about 2 years there,
Yeah.
and then just gradually more and more comedy itself, without me running rooms or doing trivia.
Yeah.
That started to take over, and then once cruise ships started to come in, and then also doing comedy festivals, I was starting to get decent income because I'd go in rogue guerrilla. I wasn't paying for a PR agent. I wasn't paying for those huge expenses that some comedians do for festivals, where they go all in and they buy they pay for a really good room and they get ads in the fucking guides and whatever. I didn't do that. I just went, I'm going to go in, print flyers, do as many spots as I can, give flyers after the show. And then that got, because the expenses were low, more and more people coming to the shows. And then I officially made, I think it was 2011, when I went to the UK and I was working the circuit there. Yeah. And I managed to get in at not the top floor, but I managed to get in those 20-minute headline spots at all the clubs in the UK. I just had a couple of good tester spots. And then that was when I went, okay, I've got this. Yeah. Because you only have to do 20-minute spots for headline spots in the UK pretty much. That's their circuit is a lot like that. 20, maybe 25 minutes. Yeah. Here it's like 45 fucking minutes like for a proper headline set sometimes. Yeah. Which means you got to obviously you get a lot of fucking material. Yeah. But if you're doing a 20-minute spot in the UK, you can boil it down to some
make it real fire.
And you need to because those cunts are on a fucking hair-triggered heckle. They find any weakness in your set, they like pounce on it. Yeah. Oh, man. Unbelievable.
So what prompted the move to the UK? You wanted to get better at comedy? You moved there for comedy? Or
I just thought I'd give it a shot. Yeah. I did some gigs in Singapore with two UK Comedy Club Asia was a little tour that was going on there. Sick. Run by the late Jonathan Atherton. Okay. Rest in peace, Brett. Yeah. But he ran some gigs over there, and I did some gigs with a couple of UK comics. Yeah. Susan Murray and another guy. Fucking hell, I can't believe.
Mr. Murray?
No, yeah. Another dude. I can't remember his name. I don't know why. Yeah. My memory's slipping. He's brain fog as well. But they were both over there, and they were like, man, you could easily come over. We'll organize it. We'll get you some gigs. And they saw my set because it was an international set in Singapore. I couldn't do Australian, couldn't do postcode comedy, couldn't do really anything about Australia, which pushes you a little bit to write some more broader stuff that's universal and doesn't need an Australian backing or context. Yeah.
It helps. That's the one thing that I realised when I went to Edinburgh last year to learn is that fucking heaps of my shit relies on local references, eh?
That's the next step for anyone. Once you get to the point where you're headlining in Australia, the next step is to look at the set and see which stuff you could do even in New Zealand. Yeah. Like, could you, or South Africa, like, what could you do that doesn't need, and then you go, ooh, it's like, guess who? You click off, oh, fuck, a lot of my favorite bits are gone.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's the true test is whether, if you can do stuff that's good overseas.
Yeah. So then, what was your, big break? Because, like, just to get onto a comedy festival, someone has to recognize you or vouch for you or whatever, hey, because it's run typically by Century or Token.
Oh, it depends on which comedy festival. Sydney Comedy Festival and Perth Comedy Festival are both curated by Century and run by them. So you got to be decent. They have it's a good vetting process.
How do they do it? I got on. I don't know how I got on, but I got on. And I don't know who's watching or talking or whatever.
Yeah, well, there's so many comics that actually are on Century's books, and they'll probably ask them. They've worked with you. They would have gone, is this guy good? Yeah, he's good. Also, they would look probably maybe at some of the shows you've done already and how well they sold. And if they see a sold out sticker next to some of your previous shows, this guy sells tickets, it must be good. Bang, you're in. But it's curated, but it's still like heaps of venues.
Yeah.
But Melbourne Comedy Festival and Adelaide Fringe and Fringe World here, they're open access. You don't need anything, and it shows.
Yes.
Big time. Yeah. Fucking man, you got open mic comics charging $25 a ticket, and the reviews are fucking so funny.
So that's like me trying to do like what we're seeing last couple of years. It's like me doing a full hour by myself.
But it's fine. You're allowed to do that, but not for $25.
I think Free Fringe in Edinburgh, which you would have noticed, Free Fringe, that's such a good enterprise. Yeah, just a bunch of venues who just want cunts in their thing. They don't charge you for room hire. They just want people in their fucking venues, drinking from like 11 a.m. onwards. Yeah, and so you just put on a show, and people just walk in and they pay you on the way out according to what they thought. But also they don't pay you according to how much they laughed. Some people will pay you because you connected with them and it was an emotional story. Some people pay you because they felt sorry for you. Some people won't give you money because the show was great and they're like, you don't need this. Yeah. It's so fucking crazy. Yeah. But still, it's much closer to a meritocracy. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that breaks your heart as you do comedy. You get over it, but it breaks your heart when you see, like, pound for pound, people you work with who are fucking crushes, like my favorite, Anthony Murr, was one of the funniest people I'd ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
And he wasn't on the TV.
Yeah.
And then you see who is, and you're
on.
like, he gets on, and you're like, it's not a meritocracy, but then you pull back. You go, easy, fucking calm down. Not just stand up is the bread and butter for a comedian. If you think that, I think that. I'm a purist. That's the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And everything else is gonna hopefully lead to stand up.
Yes.
And more ticket sales.
Yeah.
But some people are like, this is stand up is just part of my skill set. I'm gonna start. I want to be on TV. I want to be a radio host or whatever.
Yeah,
and they do
yeah.
stand up as well. Those people tend to get on TV because management, they want money.
Yeah.
And agencies just go, this person is going to give me 15% of a very long, illustrious, very well-paid career if I give them a little bit of a push, but they're motivated.
Yeah.
So you move past the idea of like, when you fucking, man, how come this cunt's not on TV and I fucking crush and they're on TV? And then you go, because you don't do anything else apart from stand-up. Pretty much.
Yeah. That's how I
lazy
feel
fuck.
like Mickey D. Like Mickey D, I reckon is fucking hilarious. And I'm surprised he hasn't been on like Have You Been Paying Attention or like any of those. Like I really want to be on Have You Been Paying Attention because I love I don't even know how it works, but if it is riffs, I'm like, I want to be Sam Payne.
Yeah.
I want to do what he does. That shit's fucking hilarious. Or would I lie to you? I see Mickey D. I'm like, I can't believe
that he wouldn't be out
I
there.
haven't seen him on a
But
TV.
there's just a bunch with comedy. If you get into it, it's people who watch comedy quite a bit will start to see a bunch of these guys. I call them sergeants, bunch of career sergeants who have no aspirations to hit captain, become general, or become a colonel.
Yeah.
And I consider myself one of the sergeants.
Yeah.
It's like we're like Tom Sizemore in Saving Private Ryan, and that we have the experience to move up through the ranks. But there's just something about getting in them, fixing bayonets and getting into the fucking trenches.
Yeah.
And going eye to eye and fucking stabbing a kraut in the fucking heart. There's something more to it. I think it's a combination of addiction and what we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like success-wise, people do ask sometimes, like, it's a compliment, a huge compliment when they say, how come you're not famous?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it'll happen if it happens, but my current career trajectory is to just maintain what I'm doing now with a slow uptick in ticket sales over time.
Yeah.
With I don't want to be on TV. I don't want to be, if it happens, it happens, but I don't want to be one of those guys. I'm happy. My success metrics are rock solid.
Yeah.
And they have been for at least 6 years where I'm just maintain.
Yeah. If you can come and sell out shows, you're fucking winning, man. And you do. So
yeah, dude, when I come out here, Perth is incredibly kind.
Yeah.
They're good. Sydney as well is really coming around. Melbourne as well. Man, there are a couple of those three cities treat me real good.
Or maybe you are real good.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
it just reflects.
Well, I was
Maybe.
going to say
It's-
that
You're on a fucking crusher, man. So
when you were on at Leaderville the other night, it was fucking like, I was very happy how I went, but when I watched, I was like, wow, got a fucking long way to go.
Yeah,
Mate,
but
your Interstellar
I'm
bit
a
is one of my
long-
favourite bits I've ever heard, and I've only seen it once.
Oh, man.
And it's
I'm
stuck
not
in my
gonna-
brain.
We're not going to show the bit for the
Go
We
see
just cut to the
Jacques
set,
Barrett.
Go
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
But there's a bit. Basically, I reference a scene from Interstellar, and I put that on TikTok. Talk. I think it's called Talk. Talk.
Yeah, that's a Singapore Comedy Festival version.
I put it on TikTok, and the number of people who like it got a lot of likes.
Yeah.
And then the comment section were these Gen Z, I worry for the future comments. Like one's like, I liked the bit until you stole the ending of Interstellar.
Oh my
God, man, no!
What a spat!
Irony, not that wasn't a lot. Like my girlfriend at the time. I said, "Can you do me a favor and just go in? I can't do it. Can you correct these people and just let them know that's the fucking point of the bit?"
No shit.
Oh,
Bro, TikTok is not. There's not.
Yeah.
There's no value in the comment section.
There's no value in the comment section.
Yeah, it's not like
anywhere.
Facebook.
Yeah.
With the quality people. Okay, another thing, complete tangent, but still Facebook related. If I see one more photo of a kid playing a recorder and then the comment saying, geez, I'm so glad I learned this. The number of times I've needed to play Three Blind Mice. You dumb cunt. You fucking moron. They give a shitty piece of plastic to a kid just to see if they have any musical ability. And if they do, then you go up. What, you give a fucking kid a saxophone out of the gates. Fucking grow up.
Yeah. And you can't break a recorder. It's two pieces.
Yeah.
I remember it's like when you get your pen license. The
I never got
was,
mine. I failed. I literally failed.
The recorder was like, your pencil, and then if you did well, you could go up to the clarinet. And then you could, that's what it was. That's all it is. It's a progression
just a
thing.
natural-
Flute in your pussy. Yeah, that's fucking.
Oh, classic.
Oh yeah, the comment section's fucking dog shit.
Oh, and I've been loving it because we had a couple of videos, 2 clips last week go bonkers viral, and you get it's probably 75% good feedback, and then you get 25% fucking.
I don't understand. They
dickheads.
take their time out to write a comment, which is like. You don't need to write this.
No.
Like, there's no need to actually write what you put in that comment. It's like, what the fuck are you doing with your day?
Someone actually wrote that back to us after we commented back to him on Instagram, and it was just like, it looks like I've got to you. You're writing back to some pleb, blah blah blah, and I was like, no, we're just promoting the algorithm. Every time you comment back, we get more views.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's just letting them know.
The algorithm froths on rage.
It
conflict.
works on hate. It honestly works on hate more than love.
Hate
which is
breeds
fucked.
success. It's
Yeah.
fucked.
It's
Yeah.
not
So we
hel-
just
it's-
keep putting
it's
out
not
things that are
healthy.
divisive.
Yeah. What fuck? Man.
We'll do a 2-hour
Hate breeds
podcast of
success.
love.
Look
and
at
then,
Collingwood.
Yeah.
They're fucking flying. But
fuck yeah.
Yeah, so we digress. What was the moment where you like, fuck yeah, I've made it? Because what you've just said is what we've taken on board with the pod, rather than try and market it and cheat our way there. Not try and market it, but like cheat your way.
Hacks and cheats and
Slowly, this is our 4th year.
Yeah.
We're still not really getting paid. We got our first sponsor on board, which we'll announce.
You're doing great.
Right? Yeah.
yes.
But yeah, like it's
1%
like a slow
of
build.
podcasts reach a point where they break even.
Yeah, right.
1%.
Wow.
Well, we're breaking even, so well done, bro.
There you go.
Yeah.
1%. The goddamn Illuminati.
We're a 1%er.
Well, actually,
it's dangerous
someone
in this state.
sent me, what was it? It was 90% of podcasts don't make it past the first episode.
Yeah.
And then the other 10%, or 9 of the next 10% don't make it past episode 21. So we've gotten something
Maybe
like
27, the 27 clubbers.
Oh, 27.
Oh,
yeah.
baby.
But yeah, so we're already doing well. We're like at
Yeah.
episode almost like 190, 189.
We've got Singapore's greatest.
Yeah, you're going to miss out on the 200 club. You're going to be away for 200, raising the bat.
Oh, shit. Well, I'll call in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can zoom in.
Zoom.
But yeah, the TV
moment?
thing and the moment, I was really glad to see Mike G get a go.
Yeah, 100%.
Because on the, what is
Fuck
it,
yeah.
100 with the
Yeah.
Andy Lee.
He's
He
literally...
deserved it, and he's the star of the show for
Yeah.
me.
He's-
He's biased. He's a funny dude.
He's the
He's a
fucking
great
best.
guy. But man, it's so good to see. Yeah, and
He's
And
the one I've gone, finally.
Yeah.
Like, he fucking finally.
Yeah.
Like, he deserves it,
The
man.
reason it's inspiring is because, like, on stage, he's fucking dark. Some of his punchlines are real
Yeah.
funny and fucking rough.
Yeah.
And they're still like,
But they feel family friendly. Like,
do.
even though they're dark.
Yeah.
They feel
First joke I ever stole.
Stole?
Stole.
What do you mean?
Stole, like literally stole for
Daniel
a wedding.
Delby has no association with
For-
wedding.
for a wedding. It was a...
The C word one. Don't say
Yeah,
it.
I won't say it, but the C word one.
Yeah.
Have you heard that joke, the C word one?
yeah,
Between...
between these
two,
two.
yeah. So I stole that, used it at a wedding, but I didn't know who he was. I just remember going to a gala, watching it, going, I'm MC at a wedding next week, so I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
And I actually went to see his show after that. He was the first comedian I ever went and seen at a gala and went, that was
gonna go see
fucking
that guy.
incredible.
Yeah,
And I went and watched
yeah.
his whole thing in Fringe, I think it was, or Perth Comedy Festival.
Yeah. Mike G was the same for me. One of the biggest inspirations. I saw him and Ben Darso, I think. And then from that, I was like, I'm going to go watch them. And then later in life, got, started.
Who were your
stand-up.
early ones that you really loved?
Jacques Lecoq and Zoo. Ben Darso, Mike G, and Daniel Connell.
Yeah.
Oh,
DC.
Daniel Connell.
So
yeah.
I went and saw him before I did stand up, and I was like, "Fuck, this dude's funny." And
Yeah, he's
even
funny.
because I think that when you start doing comedy and you've been in it like a long time, and you know the tricks and I see what he's doing here.
Yeah.
You lose the magic, but those guys are like, especially Daniel and Mike was like, I'm watching and I'm still enjoying it as a comic.
You're still enjoying it because you still don't know where they're going with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of you start to see what works for an audience. Often with like some comedians do stuff that you can see coming a mile off if you've been to comedy. But I mean, for the most part, people who go to comedy haven't seen comedy ever. They go, I saw Carl Barron 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And now I'm at the Comedy Lounge. you've got to spoon feed them. And
Yeah.
the stuff that really fucking works is stuff that's kind of predictable to
Yes.
us.
Yes.
You can see the fucking cards, you see the tricks.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean like sometimes you go like, oh my God, this bit's so fucking hard.
Yeah,
and then it crushes. If it crushes, it's in the set.
That's right.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I agree with
as
that.
long as you haven't stole material.
Yeah.
If it
People
crushes,
listening,
I've never
the
done it.
slow look, the slow look across.
I've never done it since. But
Yeah.
that was
it's an honest admission.
Yeah.
endearment, surely.
Yeah, I see. I'm of the same opinion as well. If something's low hanging and you're, it's hack, I don't give a fuck, man. If it crushes,
Yeah.
like the
You've done
audience
the
or the
job.
judge,
Yeah.
and you're not playing to. Some people play to the comics at the back, but fuck,
That's-
if they're
that's
only
good,
on
that's a good buck in that racket.
gotta make so much money off
That's
that.
that's one of the things about Brisbane open mic scene is it stems from a lack of a lot of like actual human beings, civilians in the open mic scene. Like
Yeah.
people who go and watch so much of the gigs you see is a lot of mainly just comics.
Yeah,
And that does not breed. It breeds funny stuff. The back of the room, if they're laughing, that's great. But the front of the room has no comedy pedigree and no idea why that's funny.
yeah, yeah.
And you just need rocks. Perth does have a lot of good gigs that have actual human beings
in
that
it.
go
Yeah.
proper day walkers in the audience.
Yeah. I think we've got really. We need to protect our scene here as well, because from all things I've heard, any free rooms over east are just killing comedy, and we're still pretty well paid here.
Yeah.
Is that the essential vibe from you? You've toured
Maybe it
everywhere.
depends on like you mean gigs where they don't have to
Don't have
pay,
to pay,
the
yeah.
audience doesn't have to pay
Yeah.
to come in. Yeah, it's not. It's
I
some
think-
of them can be good, some of them can be bad. I mean, it's a risk. I think to put a value on an open mic night, even if it's just $5,
Yeah.
is a good show of respect to the art. But at the same time, I mean, sometimes you're booking people who aren't
Yeah.
worth $5.
Yeah.
And the whole show might not be. even
Hey, I'm
worth
in the
$5,
fucking room.
but-
Jesus.
I think that you should always be paying your MC and your good acts.
Yeah.
What's your and we're still going to get back to your biggest crush, but ADD.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the getting paid as a comic, and what length of time or what's the mark where you should start getting paid? Because I get a bit pissed off that we've got it so good here that someone that's been doing comedy 3 months, they go, oh, you get $50. I'm
Hey,
like, fuck. I'm like,
hey,
that's
hey.
I'm like-
Again, I'm in the fucking room.
Shut it. He's got a daughter to feed, man.
I'm like, no, man. Like, I had to do, 2 years of fucking, not even like super hard grind, but like enough gigs where I'm driving 40 minutes for nothing. I'm fucking, I'm here and there.
yeah.
But, I was only gigging like maybe 3 times a month or whatever. But then eventually when I put my head down, I'm like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Different. What's your opinion on that? And like, do you just pay based off talent, or do you think that they have to do an apprenticeship?
I think if someone is willing to pay you, don't say no. Definitely don't say no.
Yeah.
I think each comedian should. I think it's a healthy system in terms of like each comedian. If you don't, depends on whether you identify as a comedian yet. That happens a little too fucking early.
Yeah.
I mean, after the blue tick on Twitter, how about blah 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 comedian? Fucking ease up, cunt.
Yeah.
Ease up.
Or one gig and the photos of them
early.
doing stand up.
Yeah.
They've got the page, Daniel Delby Comedy.
Yeah. Just did my first open mic. Off to the printer to get some business cards.
Oh my God, I've seen that happen so many
You
times.
genuinely have.
Literally, yeah.
I've seen
I won't
your
say who it
picture.
is,
Yeah.
but two people. Here's my card. I'm like, who the fuck are you, bro? You've done one
Yeah.
gig.
Oh, fuck.
Team hustle, team grind.
Yeah.
I think in terms of someone's going to pay you for comedy, but I think if you get to the point where you're consistent, you're consistent, and if the person, I think you should get paid if the person's asked you to do the spot and it's a paid spot. So if they've asked you to do it, if you've asked for the spot, then maybe you should like toe the line.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of, fuck it, man. There's so many different
so weird,
conflicting
isn't it?
opinions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you what happened with me is I just consistent. I was consistent, and I said yes to every MC spot. I was a good MC, like you are.
Yeah.
I was booked so much to MC.
Yeah.
My only demand I started to make for not for money was for, can I not MC tonight? Can I just do a spot, or can I headline? Until that got, but I mean the amount of like strength you have from MCing over and over and over.
Yeah.
Once you get a 10-minute spot, a 15-minute spot, it is pure fire.
Yeah, it's wicked, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't give any advice because, and not that I'm not worried about saying anything controversial.
Yeah.
I just each their own.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to run a room and you can't afford to pay, or if you're running a room that's successful and you have money to pay and you're not, you'll be fine. You'll be found out.
Yeah.
I mean, people will start to talk about you.
Yeah.
It's a healthy, self-governing kind of side of comedy in that people talk.
Yeah.
And if you're doing shit or doing good, people know. People know pretty quickly.
It's interesting because you've obviously got 3 different, I guess, time levels of the process happening. So
beginning,
couple of years into it, it wouldn't even call it a couple of years. It's only the start of this year I actually properly started really trying, but. Couple of years in, you know, probably in that getting close to 8-9 years in.
Yeah, so I'd say 5 proper.
Yeah, 5 proper, and then 20 years. So you got that full
14 proper.
14 proper. Yeah.
14 proper.
So first, but started 20 years ago. Yeah,
and it's funny because I am everything you've said is what he sort of said, and where I'm at as well. I'm following that same sort of path. It seems like it's a regular. Like it's just a slow incremental burn. And it's very easy to see, for example, me, I wouldn't call myself a comedian yet. I wouldn't put myself in that category. Still open micer. But because, you know, I think this year I started doing spots, especially recently. I think I did like 10 in the last 20 days, which is for me, it's fucking huge. I was doing one a month for like 2 years.
That's what I did for the first 2 years, is maybe 1 or 2 a month, because there was not that much in Sydney started for the open mics. Like there's not much. And you just had this fucking passion and excitement and anticipation for the spot, and you practice your set over and over. I think if you have too many spots starting out, you get a little maybe complacent. Don't take it as seriously as comedy requires. Comedy's great if you take it seriously. I'll tell you that much.
It requires effort.
But you got to fucking commit to it.
And I have, and that's where I can see for people, especially people who are starting out now, and it's taken. A memory came up the other day. It was like 9 years ago. It was like me doing research, and I'd posted it and like it tagged at the Comedy Lounge at the Charles, doing research for my first gig. That was like 9 years ago. I had this idea that I wanted to do it. It took me another 7 or 8 years before Delby realised I want to do it, and sort of.
Well, if you're doing those numbers, I think like when you are saying I want to do comedy, and you're getting up as much as you fucking can, then that's legit. And it's funny that you said like proper 14, 6, and I've said proper 5 but 3.
Yeah.
Like in our heads, we've done an apprenticeship almost.
Yes.
Where it's like, I wasn't a comedian. I was just doing comedy. Like I was going there and trying.
It just doesn't sound as good to say.
I should be way better if it was full time.
20 years. Yeah. Well, I'm sort of like 2 years into that apprenticeship, I think. And it's good because you can see now that I've actually started to try and do it more often. Again, I'm not crushing, but I'm 7 out of 10, I reckon, most times, doing okay. And now everyone's hitting me up, and I don't have I think great that I'm getting spots.
When people book you, it's because the consistency, and bookers do not give a fuck if you're doing the same set all around town. If you're working it, you're getting it dialed and over, and you're getting it. Each time you tweak it and you change it, or you make it better and better and better each time. Bookers fucking recognize that. I mean, you might feel a pressure from the back of the room of fellow comics to write new, and do write new. It's up to you, but you don't have to. It's no fucking rush to get to the point where you have 20 minutes of material. There's no rush to it. If it's quality over quantity, definitely. And you'll get booked way more, and from getting booked more, that's where you get more material from more.
And that's what I'm finding the easiest process for me. Again, learning to write jokes is. Instead of trying to fucking write a whole new joke, I'm milking every joke that I already have that goes okay. Trying to add. So I've added 2 or 3 punchlines to a lot of the jokes now. If I can add 3 or 4 and expand on it, that's how I'm going to go. Because even last night, like It was fun. I didn't mind. Like, I didn't want to bomb. I didn't want that joke to fucking fail. But it was.
All bets are off.
I wasn't actually.
No pressure on you if it doesn't go bad.
I was just like, it was actually fun. The process of trying to figure out a new joke, a whole new premise.
That's why comedy's awesome, man.
Yeah, and I've become quite addicted. I was telling myself last year, I was like, I want to do movie filmmaking, and I do want to do script writing and filmmaking, but that was my excuse for not doing more.
Yeah.
But I knew deep down it was because I was afraid, because it's hard. You gotta fucking put the work in. Yeah. And it's like anything. Just because you're not good at it at the start doesn't mean if you can't practice. And
some people are just not good, but
do you think that
keep pushing?
Do you think comedy's like that?
Yeah. George Zacharopoulos, a comic from the UK, he's Greek, but he's fucking man. He makes me laugh so much. He had a bit. He hasn't. I don't think he's done something with it. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but we spitball premises all the time, and he was like, I've got this idea. It's like 10,000 hours. It takes you 10,000 hours to master something. Then he goes, but if you get to the 3,000 hour mark and you're still shit, stop.
You're mastering being shit.
Oh, unbelievable. It's such a good point.
Yeah.
Like, I only pursue things that I'm good at or I show promise in early.
Yes.
So I need to have a sliver of potential comedy. If I didn't smash that second spot, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I got a taste of it early. It's the same thing. If I
mean, be here as a comedian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, okay, this is a joke I spitball with you.
Yeah.
Speaking of suicide, you ever see the garage? Yeah, some dude, some professional dad has a garage, and in the garage there's a tennis ball hanging from a string.
Yeah.
So they drive up, and when it hits the windscreen, that they know that the car is in the perfect spot.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't do it because you're not a professional dad. You're not taking it seriously. But
That's you. He's saying you don't do it. Yeah.
do you have one in your garage?
No, I don't have one, but I know it.
Yeah, when you see a dad who's got that string with a tennis ball in it, you're like, he's not too far away from him hanging off
where the ball should be.
He's tight. There's a vibe on the homeward front that he's not the best dad ever, and he's fucking tightening the screws on every possible dad thing. He'll have a fucking whippersnipper for sure.
Oh yeah,
jeans and sneakers.
Yeah, I'm close to the jeans and
sneakers. Speaking of the suicide thing, man, fuck, we did a gig on the weekend, and there had been a suicide at the place we're doing it at, and the one rule was, I said to the boys, don't do any suicide gear. They requested, like, that's the one thing. Wolfie's first 6 minutes, suicide gear.
Dude, straight up.
And he's like, I don't know why they weren't feeling it. What do you mean?
Oh, man.
Was this at Basso?
Yeah. Did he know? Wolfie
knew.
Oh,
yeah, but
man.
I think, when you panic or if you're on stage and you revert back to what you know, because a lot of his stuff just inadvertently is suicide material. He wasn't
or depression.
It wasn't really clicking with the link.
Yeah.
But it actually has the undertones of depression and suicide.
It's all there. But he wasn't doing it intentionally. That's
no, it wasn't intentional. And he's like, at the start they just fucking weren't really fucking feeling it.
Watching him implode at Oasis 2 weeks ago, like genuinely, I already get this. The whole I've got a limited amount of material, and I think the audience has already heard my jokes, even though
that's not true.
It's never true, but you always think it. I do anyway. He's constantly gigging. He's always the fucking Mark Norman's opener or fucking Jim Jeffries opener. So he's starting to think that everyone's heard his jokes all the time. And everyone's giving him shit about it as well to make it just to make it worse.
You've heard this, you've heard it.
And you see him just...
you hate this, don't you? You hate me.
70 to 90% of the people in Oasis would never have heard what he's talking about, but there might have been a few people who have heard a couple of those jokes.
And they're back. They're back for more.
Yeah,
and they want more.
That's right.
And that's what I said to him after. I was like, they came back. They don't care. They just want to hear your jokes. But watching him implode at Oasis was for me,
even
funnest time I've ever watched.
Wolfie implosion is still funnier than most sets.
100%.
He just gave up. He gave up and went, oh, fucking, what are you doing? Started talking to the audience. He just did crowd work for 5 minutes, but it fucking killed. So I think he wants to bring that more in, Yeah.
See, the thing with that's a full... I'm still in my head now. I'm like, oh, fuck, have they seen this bit? But literally, of all people, not comedians or anyone, I was talking to my mum. That's changed my mindset only recently because I was like, I've done the same sort of show. It's always different. There's always slightly different.
Yeah.
But essentially, my really good bits. I love them, but they stay in there. They got great responses for the audience. But then I'm like, fuck, have they already seen this? I get in my own head.
Yeah.
She goes, well, it doesn't matter. If they like it, they'll come back to see it, or they might bring a friend to see that bit that you do, and they'll be disappointed. She goes, there was a comedian back in the day, and I bought your granddad to come and see him just to this bit. I was like, I love this bit. And the guy didn't do the bit. And Mum's like, why didn't you do it? Because I was trying new stuff. I don't want to. And she was like, I only brought people here to see that.
That's a fucking incredible thing, because that's exactly what happened to me with Goldstein. When I took when I took a girl for a date, I was like,
it's already bullshit.
I was like, I stole his joke. I told her, I told her at this wedding the other day, it's so funny, wait till he tells it. So and he didn't say it. Because he was doing a gala, obviously, to get people in. And
so I would bring people to watch your Interstellar bit.
Yeah.
Like I would go back and watch that 10 times.
You'd have to come up and say, make sure you do it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only reason. It's just because I've got
plethora of material.
The moment where I realized, like, where I was like, here it is, was at the Laugh Garage it's no longer standing, but
tennis
it was
ball in it.
The owner fucked himself.
I was headlining there for the weekend, and Julie Lawless, he's a comedy producer in Sydney for years and years, she knew that Anthony Murr was my idol.
Yeah.
And he hadn't done comedy for maybe like a couple of years. He'd quit. And then I think he asked her, who's good? Is anyone good? And she was like, yeah, Jacques good. Sick. And he remembers me from when I first started. Remember I used to ask him for advice. I'd hang off every word. And then he came down. He was in the audience. And I didn't realize, because it's proper dark, can't see anyone. He was in the audience, and it was like a Friday night. Just fucking slayed. Yeah. Had a great set.
Yeah.
And then light came up, lights went up. I came up the back, and he's there. Sick. And he shook my hand, and he said, rock solid.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's it. That's the moment.
And you were rock solid.
And I was rock solid.
That's fucking awesome, man.
I'd just like to take this opportunity, Delby.
Yes.
Rock solid. Jacques love rock.
I'll wait a few years.
This fucking calloused mitt is waiting for you.
Speaking of giving up as well, this is something. So Delby's not playing with us tomorrow. Golf, Delby, you do need to just give up. I think.
Yeah,
3,000 hours.
Well, I haven't done. I've done like 30 hours.
I think we know enough.
But
from those 30 hours.
I don't drive. Like I use my my iron instead of my driver.
Okay. It's more consistent.
More consistent.
Does your husband use the driver?
Yeah.
So I got a qualm with you actually. So we're playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's there yesterday, fucking cheating, playing the course,
learning
the grooves. That was going to be my home advantage. I know June like the back of my hand.
When you're on a good wicket, you can afford to play it twice in a week.
Yeah.
Kindle up.
Both invites. I have both invites. Am I paying tomorrow?
No. I've got a little.
Nice.
You might be seeing these calloused hands.
No, I do a bit of work there, so they've helped me out.
That's perfect.
So
I only played 9 holes there. It was a test. Do you know what nines we're going to play?
No, but which one did you play?
Quarry.
Ooh, that's the best. What's the hard?
I reckon he's just
easiest lakes.
I reckon he's saying that so you do the other one, so he's make sure that. It's already had a run at it.
If we do Dunes and
Dunes and Lake,
we should. Dunes is challenging. Mm-hmm. Challenging, but everything's challenging.
I hit everything in the lake there.
Hey,
at lakes, I hit everything.
And in the first hole and the last hole,
I got straight in the water.
Classic,
yeah.
Classic Delby.
Fucked.
But my drives the other day when we played were
piping hot.
Oh my.
Absolutely lobbing it.
I haven't played for like 3 months.
Lobbing it out there.
Yeah. But then I felt bad. So first hole, creamed my first drive, or pretty good. It was slightly good.
We were both pretty much right up.
Yeah, and I was just slightly left, and there was a overhanging tree, and I had this beautiful chip. It was going. It was looking good, and hit the fucking thing down.
Yeah, I'd kill for
a
shot like that.
But then the next one went over the top of the green. And then the next one, I was like, right, I'll do a nice loft shot, thinned it, bang, 50 metres back over the green the other way. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, he must think he's playing with some fucking spanner at the moment. He's got 18 holes of this shit. After that, I was a bit better. But yeah, that first hole, fucking, that was nuts.
I didn't think that. I was like, I know exactly where he's at.
Yeah.
I also could see that. Oh, no.
Who won?
We didn't compete. I don't think we didn't really
score. Yeah. We'll score tomorrow. Don't worry about that.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Do you? You love golf, so obviously, if you brought your clubs over,
wow,
that's all you play over here.
Yeah.
So
you can afford extra baggage.
Yeah.
Fucking
no. I put a like a little a bib and like a little beanie on the top of it, and I act like it's my child.
Just carry on. Bottom of the seat.
So do you like it? Like it keeps you doing something and active while you're over here. Otherwise, you could
crucial.
just sit
I started playing golf a lot 2 years ago, and I didn't play for 25 years.
Wow.
And then I picked it up again 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then so having comedy was my only focus.
Yeah.
For that whole time.
Yep.
It was my passion and my hobby at the same time.
Yep.
And source of income. So it puts not too much pressure on it, but it's just too absorbing.
Yeah.
And now that I've got this, my comedy has gotten so much more. I'm so much more relaxed about comedy in a way because like golf is such a more of an emotional torment than comedy could ever hope to be.
Watching him hit, and he goes, "I'm just going to walk this one." He just wouldn't even get in the cart. He was angry with himself, just walking up to the next hole.
It's meant to be relaxing, but it's not, man.
It's not.
I get so mad. How hard is it to hit a fucking ball with a stick?
Yeah.
Why is it so hard?
Yeah.
It's a fucking.
There's a lot of variables.
Why is it so hard, man?
I have a feeling. They make golf hard, like the clubs and the equipment, they make it harder because they know that it keeps you coming back.
Yes.
And that more also, it's a bit like, I think there's some games on PlayStation that purposely get you to a point where you throw the controller against the wall and have to buy a new one.
Yeah.
It's just like golf.
FIFA.
Make this an untenable club
Yeah.
that is just so inconsistent.
Yeah.
And so that they throw it and they break it against the thing, and then Titleist gets another fucking 280.
What do you think's
like
the
that.
most thrown club or the most snapped club? Would
For
it
me,
be?
statistically,
Yeah.
it's the driver.
The driver.
Yeah, the
100% is the
driver.
driver.
100% is the driver.
baby.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Oh,
because it's their one where they're so excited. They've got the fucking big fairway drive. They're ready to just moose it up the middle with a breeze behind them. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, nothing better.
You should just play your normal shot. But
engine.
But I think it's like anything, man. It's like muscle
Straight
memory.
right.
You know, it's like comedy. It's like if you practice it enough, you don't have to think about it as much, and it flows. Same with your drive.
If you overthink it, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And
Similar to comedy.
I
guess,
can't. I'm not good enough to do like I'm going to just change my stance a little bit. I'm going to draw it around the corner, or I'm going to slice this one.
Get the shot that you usually hit.
I just got to hit the shot, and like so. If you got a I guess a hole that goes right, and I have a slight draw generally, or hook if it's a bad one, I can't change it. So I just have to aim over the trees and hit so it lands in the middle.
Makes sense.
But some people are the opposite with their slice.
So why wouldn't they make a driver with like a bit cut out of it where the ball would fit in nicely so you can't fuck it? Maybe that fits with your thing.
crazy,
Do you think that
where they want to snap it. If you
my
got like
driver-
a nice cup out of it.
Yeah, I think something concave. My driver is convex in that it
Oh,
bends
wow.
around that way. All drivers, modern technology, realize that that's actually a better way to do it. But I'm looking at that going, I hit this in the wrong thing, and it's
Yes, the sweet spot must be way smaller. You got a clitoris on the golf club now.
Yeah, but if you
obviously.
hit it.
Yeah, I've never.
I'm talking about
Dude, if they put if they put a clit on the front of my driver, I am joining the LPGA tomorrow. I will be that good.
I fucking put a dent in my driver, man. I don't even know how. I fucking drove it, and I dented the top right, like.
Oh yeah,
I concave
so
the fuck
tee's
out of
too
it.
high, and you hit the top. You
Must have.
topped it, or you hit the
Yeah.
Isn't
And
it fucking annoying though? Like you'll get that beautiful 6 o'clock tee off, and you hear the birds chirping. It'll be a fucking kangaroo, and then you just hear this fuck. back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is golf.
This is Australia.
Yeah, that's killer. Are you on a time constraint today?
Yeah.
Yeah. What time do you-
My bladder is telling me that.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Cool.
We'll finish up. So,
Sweet.
but you got
we
well.
did
What
a
have
little
you
bit
got?
of a comedy masterclass.
Yeah, 100%. What do you got going on before we bounce off? Where you on
I think
shows?
we're on the lounge. Are you on the lounge this weekend?
Yes. Are you?
I'm
you
MC.
there? I'm seeing. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So you guys are
Friday,
doing the
Saturday?
proper Saturday 7 and 9 show.
Friday and
It's
Saturday?
6:30. It's 6:30. 8:30.
6:30. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm doing the 5.
Yeah, the girls.
Yeah.
The
Hey,
Saturday.
that's my first lounge weekend thing. So for me, that's a
It's a big deal. And it's a red hot show. The Saturday Funnies 5. That
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
it's a great show. Well, it was on Saturday. It
Yeah.
was- yeah.
I'm going to go in as well. They use it for their material, so I'm just going to do some shit I haven't done forever.
Yeah, the footage.
Awesome.
And then
Yeah.
get the footage of it. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of releasing your best jokes online
I
before we go?
yeah, I don't want to put too much of it out
Yeah,
there.
it's a catch-22, eh?
Yeah, because I mean, some of the base, nothing of mine's gone probably viral at all. But they're all really strong bits and all my stuff. I do bits that I do the first half of some of my bits.
Yeah,
I like to
okay,
put those up so
Yeah.
that there's still a whole other back end of it that when people see it, they'll get the whole fresh take. So
Yes.
Great idea.
So most bits that I put out are roughly 60 to 90 seconds,
Yeah.
and the bit goes for 3 minutes.
That's such a good idea. I'll have to keep that in mind for us.
That's I've been cutting yours like
Yeah.
that.
So
the whole thing.
you're on lounge this weekend. Any personal things to plug?
I'm on Threads.
Yay!
on the
So
Threads.
we're on
Made the
Threads
switch.
now. Did you know that?
Nah.
Yeah, I've been posting for us.
What is it? At what?
It's JB. All my ats are at JB Championi.
Championi. Is that
and-
just because you have a French-Italian?
No. The
Leaning?
bit, you know, the bit where I go to Italy.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not available online, but it should be. I will be filming a special in October,
Oh, sick.
and that'll come out.
Sick.
So yeah,
Where are you filming?
In Sydney.
Sweet.
Not
So
sure
we got
where.
Sydney listeners. So if you want to go check it out and be
When?
part of the audience.
In October. I haven't got a venue locked in yet. We're close.
Yep.
I don't know where, but follow the socials, and that'll
Sick.
be the special. It's what I did in Perth Fringe World,
Yeah.
and I did it in the festivals. Just worked out the material, and it is. I'm very proud of the
Yeah,
ass.
yes, sick.
Very proud.
Nice.
Oh.
I wanted to talk about the World War II one as well. But fuck, we'll do that another time.
Yeah, it's all good.
Cool. JB Championi for all your goods, needs and services. And Sydney, keep an eye out for the 1 hour special. I won't plug anything until next week. I think I didn't know there's a Sunday Singles this Sunday, so I should be hosting at Freo. I wasn't locked in, but yeah. Other than that, Comedy Lounge this weekend, and everyone knows that, Daniel Delby.
Sick. And yeah, where am I? Yeah, Gong Thursday night.
Fuck yeah.
And then Comedy Lounge Saturday. My first Saturday. I'm fucking stoked. So I'm going to stick around and have a few beverages and watch. You're not drinking at the moment, are you? Dry
No,
July?
I'm dry July, but I'll do MDMA.
MDMA March.
microdose.
MDMA March.
March. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Or, yeah.
That's my birthday.
I'll be maggot next month. Florgust.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.